Welcome back to Speducation. I am your host, Brandon Reed. And for those of you who are new to the channel, a special welcome to you. Well, it's a new week and we have a new lesson. So what are we going to be learning about this week? This week, we're going to be learning about why I chose to become a special education teacher. Now, in order to answer this question, I need to answer another question first. And for those of you who have been here since the very beginning, it's one that I've already answered. For those of you who are new, this is your first time hearing it. The question is, why did I start this channel? And the simple answer is this. I started this channel to help inform parents about special education so that they can be more involved in their child's education, like my parents were. When I was in elementary school, I was diagnosed with a learning disability. And originally, I was told that I would never be able to go to college. My diagnosis basically said that I would be lucky if I graduated from high school. And back then, there wasn't a whole lot of resources for my parents. The internet was still in its infancy. In fact, back in the 1980s, even up until 1992, the internet was still beginning to get out there. So there wasn't a whole lot of resources for my parents to pick and choose from. Instead, they had to go to a college and they had to take special ed courses to learn about what it means to have a learning disability and how to help those that do have a learning disability. So I decided, why not create a channel that makes it easier for parents to find all the necessary information that they need? Because the more informed a parent is, the more invested they are in their child's education. Now, how does that answer the first question, why I chose to become a special education teacher? Simple. My parents loved me and they wanted what was best for me. And that the same goes for me and the students that I teach. I love every student that I have ever taught, even the ones that have driven me up the wall, but I want them to be successful. And that's why I became a special ed teacher. Take this comic, for example. This was very indicative of my early years in special education. Inclusion was still somewhat new, and teachers weren't sure how to teach kids like me because I was coming from a self-contained classroom. So teachers had to learn along with me on how I learned best. As a special education teacher, I figured I could help teach not only the students, but the teachers, the way people like myself need to be taught. It's like this quote. I've always loved this quote. If a student can't learn the way we teach, then we need to teach the way they learn because each individual student is different and each individual student has a specific learning style. Now, it's the responsibility of the teacher to figure out which learning style works best for that student and try to implement that into their lesson. And it may seem like a lot of work, but if a teacher can do it, they're going to have more success in their classroom. To help kids accomplish their goals is what it means to be a special education teacher. Now, you probably hear that from every teaching candidate that interviews for a teaching job. But the difference between me and him, or me and her, or me and them, is that for me, it's personal. I know what it's like to have teachers demean you, to make you feel stupid, to make you feel bad about yourself because you can't learn the same way as other kids. And a lot of those teachers treated me that way because they didn't know I had a learning disability. And even when I did have a learning disability, they didn't understand how to best help me. But what a teacher's job really is to try to build up the confidence in that student, to see that they can accomplish whatever they set their mind out to, and to help support them when they stumble. A person that doesn't do that and is just there to provide information and facts, that person isn't a teacher. That person is just there to pick up a paycheck. I'm not there to pick up a paycheck. I'm there to help my students succeed. And that right there is the very reason that I became a special education teacher, to help children like me. Now, special education isn't for everybody. It can be, and oftentimes is, very demanding. There's a lot of stress that goes along with it. In fact, there's a statistic out there that says that the often turnover rate or the average turnover rate for special ed teachers is 3 to 5 years. And the reason why is because it's such a stressful job. And at the end of the day, a lot of teachers feel defeated. But if you are up to the challenge with everything that a special education position entails, there's no more rewarding career. because believe me, the look on a student's face when they finally figure out how to solve a multi-step problem or how to identify the main idea in a reading passage, that feeling, that look that those students give me, that is worth more than any paycheck that I would ever get. So if you're interested in learning about what it takes to become a special education teacher, check out these resources below. The Bureau of Labor and Statistics has a good website where you can find the different types of training and different types of terms that are related to being a special ed teacher. Also, learn.org talks about special education teachers and their licenses, specifically in Indiana. And then Indeed. Indeed has career advice and career development on how to become a special education teacher. Now that you have a better understanding for my reasoning, why I wanted to become a special education teacher, and why I started this channel, next week we're going to shift gears and take a look at what's it like to have a learning disability. The best way to help those with learning disabilities is to get inside their head and to see how they think. So next week, we're going to change some things up. And hopefully, by the end of next week's video, you'll have a better understanding of what individuals like me went through when we were in school and the types of challenges that we had to overcome. Now, if you liked what you saw today, please click the like button. And if you want updates on future videos, feel free to click the subscribe button and ring the bell for updates on future videos. And if you have any comments, please put those questions and comments in the comments section. And if you know somebody that might benefit from this channel, please, by all means, share this with them, because the purpose of this channel is to get that information out there to those that might need it. And if you want to check out some of my other videos, feel free to click on the link in this video to one of my previous videos so that you can find out more about me and more about the channel. And until next time, class dismissed.